Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of AP Outdoors. Thanks for watching. I have been looking forward to making this video for a while for a couple of different reasons. I want to show you guys how I go about setting any bow up. For this particular video, I'm going to be showing you how I set up my bow for indoors, but this is any bow that I set up. I go through these same steps. Also, I've had this bow for a couple of months now and haven't really done anything with it for the purposes of this video, but I believe it's time for us to start building this bow. To begin with, I've got an Elite bird here. I know they're discontinued, but I've always wanted to try one. I was able to do some trading around and get this, so I'm looking forward to having a target specific bow. If you watched my content before, you know that I ran the Elite Exalt last year for everything. Great bow to do that, but I wanted to do something that was target specific, and I'm going to be doing that with this bow. I've got the Elite Exalt right here, and this idea for this video is for me to give you that information, that step-by-step process on how to set up a bow, and so that you can be able to do that for yourselves. So, Elite Exalt here to begin with. Elite makes it so easy to be able to set your own draw lengths and stuff. Their cams are labeled. You can go on their website and see what draw length, you can see what draw length that you're going to set it at. Now I do think that this is where a pro shop is really helpful. They can measure you and kind of get you going in the right way. A lot of pro shops are kind enough to do this for you when you purchase a bow from them. But Elite makes it super simple. You're able to change these screws out right here and adjust this cam that rotates. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got little hash marks there with numbers according. So I know that I'm typically around a 28 and a quarter inch draw length. So I've got those set there. If that's something you'd like to see, there's Elite has put out their own videos on how to change those. So let's just say that you have done that, you've got the draw length you want. The next step that I am going to take is bolting my rest on. That's simple as just putting the screw in and putting your rest on and putting it in your bow. Then I'm going to bring it over to this vise. They make several different types of vices. This is actually a bicycle vise that I bought off Amazon for like 30 bucks. I've got it bolted on here, and I'm going to come over here to my string, and I'm going to begin with the arrow that I'm going to shoot. I don't have any of those built, but this is not the exact arrow build that I'm going to be using for this setup for indoor, but it's pretty close. So I'm going to take my knock, which is that white piece, and I'm going to set it on the string like this. And my goal here is to get my arrow level. So there's a couple of ways I do that. This is the arrow level. I need that in just a second. This is the string level. This string level helps me make sure that the bow is level to the earth. So I'm going to adjust that to the middle. About right there. Sometimes you can eyeball this, but there, make sure that that's level. So this level lets me know that the bow is level to the earth. Then this is a little hack I've learned recently. is just getting some fishing line. This is 50-pound braid, and I'm going to tie a knock set with it. And what a knock set is, it's just a little bundle with a little knot that will go underneath my knock. That helps knock pinch. Knock pinch can throw your arrow flight off, cause you some inconsistencies in your shooting. So this knock set helps with that. And my next step before that though is taking this. This is the arrow level. Both of these products are from OMP. There's several different makers that have these type of levels. But I'm going to clamp this on the end of the arrow, and then I'm going to check it for being level with the bow. And if you have a silver Sharpie, you can make sure that that is level with the earth. And then you're going to check this. I'm just going to mark right underneath that, just a smidge, just to know where I need to go with it. But I also, here's a little tip that I've learned. I know you can't see it because I can barely see it, but I want to go just a little bit above center of the bow. 37 and 3/4 is 18 and 7/8. Center, I want to go just a little bit above that, which I think might be right on where it should be. So I'm going to take this. Alright, so we're just going to tie some card knots. I've got my mark right here that I'm keeping my eye on. And I'm going to do a hard knot right there. Come around and do another one. Come around and do another one. I'm going to go about 4 or 5 knots deep with this because I wanted a good space away from my knock and do loop. Maybe one more. So I've got a little knot there. This is where, if you're new, you want to be careful not to get your string. Alright, so I'm going to just double check it, make sure we're good to go there. Now, I want to get my D-loop material. Buddy that I was just telling you all about ran a steel D-loop, and you can. I prefer these. They're just lighter weight. It's BCY 23, and I want to make this. I'll take this tag in here and ball it out just a little bit by running my finger over it. So it'll make a nice ball when I go to make my D-loop. Take the lighter. Alright, then I've got this handy little tool here. It's a Michael Braden Archery, again available at Lancaster Archery. I'm going to take, it's got a scale on here, but I know when I make these that I'm going to do about 4.5. There. Cut that off. I go a little long on this. That's 4.5 right there. I go a little long so I can give myself a nice burnt end to work with. Just gives me a little more confidence and security when I put my D-loop again. I'm gonna burn this end. Get it getting hot. And then alright. So now switch in a little bit here. So right here at the tip of my finger is my nocking, I don't know what I call them. Not my nocking point. I forgot what you call them. Whatever they're called. I'll put it up on here. There's a debate whether or not where that ball is supposed to be located. I haven't been able to tell the difference in where it goes. But maybe someone else that's better than I am can cinch that down. And we'll come down here and tie the same knot. Let it get cinched down too. Knock back in there. And then we'll grab a release, cinch it down. That might be a little long, but we'll see in time. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I actually want to draw this and see how it feels, because last time I was messing with this, it felt a little short. So I'm gonna draw it and see how it feels. See how it's stretched there? I don't want it that long. I'm gonna shorten it just a little bit. All right, back after a short little intermission. I ended up having to change the length of that. The first one I put was too short or too long, and then when I adjusted it wasn't long enough. So this one I think is about right. Try to have mine about 5/8 of an inch, between a half and 5/8, somewhere right there, pretty close. We'll shoot that. So the next step is going to be getting my peep sight in, and this might be a little difficult if you haven't done this before or have a means to do this, but it's kind of a guess and check type deal. So you're gonna need a bow press regardless. Peep. So let's talk about equipment for a second. So I have been running Archery products for quite some time now. On this particular bow, I've got the Archery Trinity. One of the things about the Archery Trinity is you can run it a couple different ways. You can run it as a cable-driven rest, so like your typical drop-away rest. You can run it as a limb-driven rest, which is how I have my hunting bow set up, or you can run it as a prong rest, which is how I've got it set up for this. So the reason, let's go this route. The reason that I chose a blade rest is for this particular setup is I have ran into the problems before of the cord, whether I'm running a drop away or I'm running a limb driven rest. I'm having some cord issues as far as the cord coming loose or the cord moving. So I want to eliminate as many variables as possible. So I think running it as a blade rest is going to help me do that. I really do like the Archery products. They seem very sturdy, they seem very durable, and they're very adjustable. So you can check them out. I do like their products. I'm also going to run the Archery Insight Peep. I ran this last year. I've been running it, like I said, for the last couple of years. So I like it because it is adjustable. I can put different size apertures in it, and of course the clarifiers as well. This year I'm thinking about trying something a little different. I'm thinking about not shooting with my glasses on. I've done that in the past for 3D. I don't know, just want to try something a little different. So I may have to change my clarifier, the lens inside my peep for my scope set. So we'll see. Alright, so we are putting a peep in. But there's several different other peep makers in the business. This is just what I choose to use. It's worked so far. Also of the mentality, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So there it is. So on these little peeps, I believe there's a little dimple. Peeps, it is the next day. So my bad, but I actually got a phone call while I was recording the last little bit, and I kept working, and I went ahead and installed the peep and it talked through it. But how this would typically work is this string in particular, if you can see, it got a black strand and a green strand. These are really simple to do. You just separate the string. This peep in particular, I think, is actually where I stopped. The insight peep can be used with the longer axle bows. It's going to give you a different string angle, so it's got a setting for the longer or bigger string angle and for the separate. So I did have to specify on that which one I was using. This one gets the 45, and Hamskea actually has a graphic that will talk you through what string angle you need to use. So got that installed. Looks like I do have an aperture in here. Looks like I might even have a clarifier. Can't tell. Why? I do not. So, but I'm gonna try it just to see what that's like. So we pretty much have this set to go. I might back up for just a moment to check this. So what I'm going to check for now is my left and right, my center shot. So my center shot is the distance between my riser and my arrow rest. Elite recommends 13/16. Sometimes you have to run as much as 3/4 of an inch, but that's not a whole lot of difference there.